Venom because they were planning to pick him up anyways.
Yeah. Remember, the first 2 picks here for the side of RRQ Hoshi, they rely so much on the lifesteal or the spell vamp that they have. So that means if you go and try to take their regeneration a bit down, tone it down a bit, that is gonna hurt their tanking capability in the long run. So this Baksha and Lancelot is just so good for the side of Bren Esports.
I mean, I think it's pretty great, especially when it comes to just the denial of health regeneration overall, especially when it comes to both Sylvana as well as the Yuzong, both pretty dependent on it. Both can abuse the Oracle. Both will look to get, you know, the Bloodlust Axe and the Concentrated Energy respectively. But Bren now banning out the Ling, forcing the question onto RRQ. How exactly are they going to get something that scales in towards the late game, especially when you have someone like Carl Teasy? He's got the Lancelot already.
Bren Esports, when they go for these kinds of Lancelot lineups, they don't necessarily try to go for a marksman side lane. But if it's a possibility and if they are forced, Rebo can use a 1-1.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. Now, going into the second phase of picking, that was the Roger locked out. Oh, they're going to steal away the 1-1. RRQ Hoshi, read your mind, Butters. 1-1 here for the side lane. Might be Wiz King, might be R7 now, Bren Esports. They're closing this up and without wasting any time. Hold up! Double assassin! Side lane Hayabusa!
Can I also call it like triple assassin in such a way, like Selena looking...
Quadruple, technically. If you're looking at the game's descriptions, yeah, Matilda and Selena. Interesting. That's a lot of pickup potential.
So, they don't have a tank per se that's gonna roam early. Stay into the side lane.
All right, this is getting even more interesting.
All right,
we're finally seeing the Hellcurt coming into the picture, and this is actually magnificent.
Yo.
Bren Esports has a good draft, but RRQ Hoshi with just 1 pick, they just give a lot of, they just, you know, try to shut down. They tried to shut down Bren Esports' draft as much as possible. They needed to find the pick. They picked the Hellcurt, and that answers a lot on Bren Esports' side.
I think this is some interesting adaptations. I don't necessarily believe it is going to work. I'm kind of 50-50 on the Hellcurt pick here. I do see that it is great in some situations, but when you have Matilda, and especially with the Circling Eagle, you can almost guarantee a lockdown in these in a lot of these points. And it's going to be who initiates first and who is going to be able to get their opponent preemptively. And that's going to be the name of the game. Who makes the first move?
I'm not even thinking about the farming situation. Like, how much gold do you need? And at what point will you say, okay, we're ready for these fights between these two teams that require so much across all their core heroes?
Oh, I don't know, but at least I don't have to think about it for now. You boys, you're going to have to take this one because this is too big for me to handle.
Okay, now... talking about ideation coming from the side of James, right? RRQ Hoshi, what's great about the Hellcurt heading in towards the late game is not only diving in towards the backline, getting that catch, it's also about that split push. Like, he just gets so much movement speed when he pops in that Dark Knight Falls. Just get across the map, like, who's going to be able to catch him when you can't even see your enemy?
I agree, because seeing that 1-1 really likes the 1v1 duels as well, you can deny the vision of the 1-1 and just try to go for the duels on her side.
Yep, Lusty almost getting taken down there. I kind of get it. This is a roaming Matilda. It's going to be a Matilda that provides shields and relies on mobility to kind of weave in and out of combat like a tank. Natalia, as you know. Hold up, Psycho uses the Cyclone Eye with just enough time. A defensive arrow here by a few. Real quick, let's rehash or remind people what lanings look like. It's going to be an XP lane Hayabusa. Ooh, Psycho, a little frisky, wanting to get in on Rebo's face. And then the XP lane is going to be, the gold lane is going to be the Baksha facing off against the 1-1. An interesting matchup, but Flappy's able to bully Wiz King nonetheless.
Yeah, of course, he's going to be soaking a little bit of the poke, and he's got to be careful with the Abyssal Arrow coming in as well, because Wiz King, if he just gets caught out, okay.
Purify safe. She got that cleanse.
Wait a minute. Yeah, she's taking the A.
Well, he does have the innate cleanse in his kit. So RRQ hits Vin. Vin here might go down.
Oh, Dark Knight falls. That's going to be some darkness raining down onto Bren Esports, and they get the first blood. What a bait right there by Vin. No trades here by Bren Esports.
Yeah, and this is definitely going to be a little bit troublesome for the likes of Bren Esports eventually when they are trying to go in for those sort of picks, which is what they are looking to set up, right? And here comes R7 already using the Black Dragon, crashing out towards Baptiste as well as Lusty. Not going to be making much use out of this. As you can see, their health bars is still pretty much way up high, but the Hayabusa now moves over on towards the other side lane, and it's going to be having a lot of great pushes.
What a mirrored swap there by Bren Esports and RRQ Hoshi. Now this fight in mid, near the turtle breaks out. Oh, the turtle at about 1/5 of health. That's going to be stolen here by Caltizi, and that's Lusty taken down here by R7. We're going to have to back out. Even Caltizi doesn't want any part of this, as Few gets caught in the middle of 3 members of RRQ. 3 for none is the final tally here, the body count for RRQ Hoshi.
The better trade went over the side of RQ.
This is to be expected because Rebo won't be part of any fights. But as long as they can keep Psycho at bay, do not get caught in the way of the Dragons, that is going to be fine for Bren Esports. RRQ Hoshi, they're doing a great job as well. They're contesting, they're getting the kills, the pickoffs. And now what's left is they should go for the turrets.
I think this is actually RQ's plan, right? Like, you really want the attention to be on Psycho as well as Vin instead of Sin or even R7 in that sort of sense. Wiz King kind of can self-sustain, especially when he does have the crossbow of Tang. So that's what they're hoping to pick up.
Oh, no, an arrow here saves Lusty, and a nice takedown by Caltizi onto Sin, and the unthinkable has happened. We were talking about how it should have been Psycho, it should have been Vin, but yeah, they caught out Sin at the very right moment. Real quick note, ladies and gentlemen, Avarice onto that Sylvana. Nice way of the dragon here, catching Lusty. He survives. That's going to be the Thorn Rose pushing away Psycho and the gang.
That is the prowess of a Selena. Just throw out the arrow. If you hit the Hellcurt has no Purify. That is going to be Lance taking him down. And that is a lot of time. And this is the thing about Hellcurt that I didn't really like. But Vin!
What? Tortoise Poissons underneath the turret allows him to go deep, way too deep, and there you go. R7 can't even regenerate despite having full Sha essence. And off camera, by the way, that was a kill by Rebo.
Those are the situations.
Sid.
But they're not done yet.
Butters, let Lusty finish. He's chasing down Sin. That's going to be the Cyclone Eye going through the wall underneath the turret, the safety of his side of the map. So far, Butters, Lusty says, okay, you can speak.
These are the things
After
that
you.
Baksha does. Like the dives that Bren Esports are doing now, it won't be possible without him.
Yeah, and those sort of catches were magnificent for Bren Esports because now they do have a little bit of activation, especially on Caltizi. This is their key towards those game-winning trades, and just look at the amount of damage that Caltizi gets. So he was under the turret. It didn't mean much as he pops out the turret Poissons, and the other members of Bren Esports could easily go in to burst down the Hellcurt whenever he just appears on the wrong moment. And here comes Lusty, pushing them back.
Oh no, that's gonna be the Dark Knight Falls, but it was just a little too late. There was no setup, no follow through. Lusty gets blasted down by R7. A trade for the support and your core at Bren Esports going off with a lottery.
Yeah, just looking at how this sort of the jungler assassin meta is going, right? Of course, you have the tier 1 picks coming in from the side of Bren Esports, and oh boy.
Psycho here gets popped into the Poissons underneath it. This hurts, this hurts. That's Vin taken down by Caltizi as they steal away the turtle. The purple, that is, and the turret. You see, I get the words mixed up, but nonetheless, I'm liking what Bren Esports is bringing.
Rebo. Will the crossbow of Tang be thrown out?
It has been.
Will be.
That's whisking in the air. Pachoo, pachoo. That's Rebo taken down.
That's the sound of a bird with a gun.
Bird with a gun.
That's what whisking was.
I'm pretty sure nobody wants to mess with a bird with a gun, but
We'll allow it. We'll allow it.
yeah. What's big news right here, you know, like, other than guns, what is pretty much lethal? Blades, and who's got the sharper blades right now? It's called Easy.
Oh, yeah.
Already having that blade of the Heptaseas being bought out. Sin really struggling to find his footing in this entirety of the match. Like, oh, you got the Hayabusa, you got the Selena to deal with. After you get past that Baxia, it's honestly tough for him to choose from.
Oh, Vindo jumping in with the Imperial Justice, and R7 coming in with the Black Dragon form. Few gonna use a Cyclone Eye, get out of here.
Whiz
Oh,
King!
from the back, Whiz King gets skewered by Carl TZ. The other TZ brother takes down Psycho, and right now, the stickers come up. The fallen brothers of RRQ Hoshi. They have no choice but to accept this conversion from Bren Esports as they push.
This off-lane Baksha is just making waves. Whereas at Bren Esports, he's controlling so much of this RRQ aggression.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just look at it from the drafting phase itself. It's like, okay, you can have the use on all you want, but remember this, I'm going to be activating what we can. And now we do have a little bit of a look at the itemization as the turret falls in favor of the side of Bren Esports, now crashing on towards Sin as he is being forced a little bit backwards.
Rebo is almost with in this battle. Sin is just getting the Legion swords and probably a Blade of Despair in just a bit. But Carl does have the item advantage with the Heptasis.
Yep, and he's sitting at 5-0-3. This is the best we've seen Carl TZ today. This Lancelot is cleaner than the Claude he brought out. Now here is a in-game pause, real quick, a breather for everyone watching, and as well the players and us here at the caster's desk. All right, I think Gideon has been paying attention. Man, how's the fight feeling so far?
Okay, I need to ask about this Lancelot here because we've seen it on multiple different teams. We've seen it work and we've seen it not work. What's the difference between them and specifically Call TZ for pulling it off? Because we've seen them actually knock down Alter Ego with this exact same pick. And to me, the mechanics seem solid for both sides, but I feel like it's not just Call TZ who's making this work here. There is an outside factor.
It's definitely going to be the Boxer. You just look at him, he's all over the map, he's always protecting his teammates everywhere he goes, and it's so easy for them to just move in and out, having so much mobility. I think he definitely plays a big factor in this match.
The thing is, the difference between Carl, TZ, Lancelot, and other Lancelot is the confidence. It's his confidence level to just go in and out of fight. Carl TZ is one of those players that really just want to push for kills.
Okay,
And
okay.
if there is ever one hero that enables him to do that, it's going to be the Lancelot. With the Puncture, Thorn Rose, Phantom Execution, there are a lot of dashes to bail him in and to bail him out if he ever needs help, or he can just go for the Savage like he did to 10-second Frost Gaming.
We're talking about the optimal form of Carl TZ here, right?
Right.
And I think there are layers to this question. We'll get to it later, because right now we're back into the battle. This is going to be 8 minutes, 20 seconds in, and yeah, look at this. Flap TZ can just walk into the side of the jungle for RRQ Hoshi towards the orange here, pushing them out. Vin uses the Imperial Justice as a defense mechanism. Wave the Dragon onto this Baksha. Flap TZ, not even blinking, not even sweating at all. He's like, yeah, that's fine, it happens. I'm out.
Look at Psycho even catching that arrow so that
like,
Vin doesn't go down.
I'm like, yeah, let me block it. Let me block it. Now a push up top, and even in mid, there's a huge wave crashing in. Oh, wow, 6-0. Contra 6-0.
Yeah, and just look at them. They invest so many effort on towards Flaptizi, and all of that is actually going to waste. How are you supposed to actually burst down the Baxian? There's no apparent answer to that. Sin, you don't even want to get to that sort of question even. So it's really tough to ignore the Baxia and go for the rest with him just really pummeling them from getting anywhere backwards or forward. Now, it's simply Cycle there, wait on the Dragon, and this might just be a big fight for Bren Esports. Pulling it off.
Yo. The mere presence of Flap TZ scares the rest of RRQ Hoshi, and this is prime rotations. Butters, do you agree with me? This is all leading up towards his first Lord take.
Yes, it could be, but I think for them, they just want to go for the kills. They want to take the turrets right now so that RQ Hoshi will be forced back to stay in their base. Now, if you would look at the items here for RRQ Hoshi, Psycho and Vin picked up an antique Kiras. So that only means that they're having a hard time dealing with the damage of Karltizi, and they even have Flaptizi on their throat as well.
Doesn't help. Right now, Psycho goes in. Less than half health. RRQs, R7 coming in. Sin gets blasted by Karltizi. It's looking grim. Oh, they trade out. They finally get rid of this menace that is Flaptizi. It's a trade 1-for-1 so far. And in goes the circling eagle. Gets knocked up. Lusty. Wizking trying to look for a nice angle. Karltizi still to fall. He's got like few. Takes down R7. It's down to 2. Imperial Justice catches none. Oh, from the back line. Vin gets blasted by Karltizi. Oh, and Rebo! Rebo misses by one shuriken. It's gonna be 3-4-1 while Wizking says, let me just clear this wave and get the hell out.
Doesn't even matter if you catch that Baxia. Like, you just saw Sin just exploded right there. He tries to get a catch, but you'll get Wizking right now. This is not the fight you should even take or even ponder upon. And Bren Esports, well, they're laughing their way to the bank.
Oh!
I mean, I love the Hellcurt pick just because of the utility it brings.
Yeah.
But Bren Esports, every time Sin goes in, that rhymes by the way.
6 out of 10.
Okay, getting there. Now, Sin going in, he is gonna try and pick up someone, but every Bren Esports member just turns to him.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Again, as nice as the kit is, again, you see the intent. But where's the execution? And right now, it's not on the side of RRQ Hoshi. Bren Esports is ahead by about 9,000 gold here.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the charts. I'm definitely thinking that Bren Esports now overpowering in terms of damage. There's no way that, call in all the defense all you want. It's just that there's just a no-go zone for Sin, and you don't even want to invest Wizking all the way up into the front line, right?
No-go zone. Anywhere that Lusty's circling is a no-go zone, all right? You got cops like Flaptizi saying, sir, this is area's cordoned off. If you come in here, it's not going to be good for you. Now there's the Dark Knight falls from the back. Sin once more, the first casualty, and Lord still stands. That's going to be the Poissons here popped by Flaptizi from the back. Finn gets destroyed by the Ogi shadow kill, and Rebo ain't done. The Doctor takes out Psycho as well, and R7 right in the middle of 4 members of Bren Esports. Make that 5, that's all of them, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to go for the push. It's just Wizking left to defend. Is it enough? The answer is no. Another shadow kill by the good Doctor. Ladies and gentlemen, Bren Esports with the classic recall in front of your base as they take game number 3.
Now, if you think that the TP is annoying, the shouts that came out that really just tried to scare Bren Esports, that those were the things that were happening. It's a mind battle here on the battlefield, and Bren Esports, the recalls was just an answer to that pressure. Like, shout as much as you want, but you will never ever get into our game.
Honestly, I have to admit, this has been an absolutely phenomenal game to watch here from both of these teams, and even with the shouts here, and especially after yesterday's game, I think, it's a little bit of a primer. Like, Alter Ego was a primer for Brent, so that these shouts doesn't even phase them, but we have to kind of talk about the big issue here. We've seen Baxia really put a full stop to a lot of compositions, almost similar to the Diggy here. Hellcurt could not do anything about him when he is on top of him. Hayabusa even making it even easier when the team can't regenerate.
Exactly. This is making it essentially a 4 versus 5 every single time. And on top of that, they're making RQ, the King of Kings, look like just a mere peasant in that sort of sense. And after all, they are mortal.
Strong words. Strong words, sir. Now,
the imagery.
The imagery. But yeah, I agree. I cannot agree more, because Sin is put in a very good spot in the draft. I mean, Hellcurt is not the best pick, but because of all the utility that Bren Esports has, he has all the capabilities to counter that. But if you go in without thinking about the control that they have as well, you will have a hard time.
Well, with that being said, we just got word that the analysts are ready, so let's throw it over to them. Wolf and LaFell, please explain.
Thank you very much, casters. Speaking of casters, I think a lot of things will be clipped.
Yeah.
Contra says something very interesting, and our table has also talked about a bird with a gun. It's very interesting.
It's
very interesting.
very graphic to me, man.
Anyways, my name is Lafel, and this is Wolf. We will be your analyst for this game. And the thing is, Wolf, I have to say, from the side of RRQ as well as Bren, both of these teams actually took a very risky composition in their draft. Where Bren, technically, they have 4 assassins, and RRQ, they take the Helker, even though Helker is, you know, in the logical sense, he has burst, he has the silence. However, as we see, every time he goes in, he dies. So both of those compositions have very, very strict win conditions.
You know what's a very cool thing about our jobs? Ever since the group stages, when we are going for our analysis, every single game, I'm not telling you, the teams go in front of us. And when we were trying to explain what happened, what went wrong, what went right, they just gave us the death stare.
Yeah, like what were we saying? Like, why they lose, and then the players are just like,
Yeah, right. So
yeah.
and it's worse when the coaches come in. It's like
Yeah.
the team played this badly, then the coaches comes in and then.
Anyways, they just walk by. So right now, let's talk about the draft. Let's start with Hellkit.
Yeah.
Hellkit, why is he so risky?
I think that it is more. I'd say there are risks that are like high risk, high reward kind of decisions. This Hellkit is low reward, high risk only.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah, I would agree, because we saw the show, we saw the Savannah, both of these heroes, they can catch someone out of position, and then the Hellkit could theoretically come in and burst them down. And we look at a lineup from Bren, 4 assassins, all of them are pretty squishy except for the Baxia. I like the Baxia in the experience lane just because Mundon has been trying to get the tanks in the experience lane, giving more options for more compositions. And the thing is, for Bren, we talked about Hellkit. Right now, let's talk about Bren's lineup. 4 assassins, if they lost the laning phase, I think that it will be a very bad game for them.
That's what's very interesting, because I think this is volatile for both teams. I think that it is so the draft is just so funky that both teams cannot lose their early stages of the game. The Hellkurt as well as the Lancelot, they have the same win conditions. It's just that the Lancelot can achieve that much better and much easier compared to the Hellkurt. After all the nerfs onto Hellkurt, it is just not gonna work. Many times in this particular match, Bren Esports were able to just bait out Sin, and when he jumps in, everybody just goes towards that part, and even hiding in the bushes. That happens so many times in RRQ Hoshi. I knew from the get-go that when they lose their early stages, they cannot recover anymore.
Right now, the stat that I would like everyone to look at is actually the damage. RRQ Hoshi did more damage than Bren Esports, but let me make you understand why that is. The only person from Bren Esports that can take damage is the Baxia. We can see FlapTZ always going to the front, making sure that he takes all the brunt of the damage coming from the 1-1, from the Yuzong, from the Sylvana even. Yep. And once everyone has basically used their skills, that is when the assassin goes in. When FlapTZ gives the information, there's no this, there's no that, all the line is clear. Clear. Come on, even get into it. But anyways, the line is clear, you can come in and then you can do whatever you want. And as we can see, Selena goes in, Lancelot goes in, Matilda goes in, Hayabusa goes in. It is a very risky draft, but this is one of those situations, high risk, high reward. You win your lane, you win the mid game, you will snowball so hard they will have no idea what to do.
You know what? This is not only a risk that Bren Esports took just because of their lineup, but you also have to take note of the entire draft, including the bans. The Bren Esports, they banned out Ling and Roger in the second phase, and in the first phase it was the Yi Sin Shin. Then they took the Lancelot. Now, if you're looking just at the pool of heroes that can be played, they really took everything out, and I love the fact that they picked up Hayabusa.
Yep, and right now this is the MVP, Carl TZ with the Lancelot. Come on, when this guy has the Lancelot, I don't think anyone would deny that he deserves the MVP position. 908 itemization, full on damage, and again, I like the point that you pointed out. Ban those certain carries, making it very, very difficult for RRQ to really answer until they were forced on the Hellkurt pick.
There will come a time where in this best of 5 And maybe come game number 4, RRQ Hoshi will just straight up pick up a carry in the early stage, the first phase. Because you know what, Lancelot is one of the heroes that Bren Esports really have mastered. And for the side of RRQ Hoshi, they were all of the choices that were taken out from them. I really love the fact that they picked up the Hayabusa in that fourth slot, because they kind of forced 1-1 to be picked by the side of RRQ Hoshi, and that really put them in a bad spot wherein, oh my goodness, we need to draft a Retribution carrier.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like James, after seeing that game, he has a lot to think about. The 1-1, even though Whisking is very good on the 1-1, but we look at the itemization, you only had the Corrosion Scythe as well as the Demon Hunter Sword. On the way is the Golden Staff, but there was not enough time. All of those assassins, they play very, very fast. A lot of dashes, a lot of bursts, and the moment he wants to go in, he wants to get those weakness stacks, but when he dies first, those weakness stats mean nothing, and then he still cannot use the Crossbow of Tang.
You know, there's a lore for Bren Esports back in MPL Season 4 and Season 5. I think that I also shared it during the panel. The download game, is it actually happening right now? Because that is, I mean, it is what happened during the first 2 series that they won here in the lower bracket, and it is kind of happening now. Are they gonna take game number 4? That's a question. I had also a chance to talk to the 6th and 7th members of Bren Esports, and they kind of told me that the entirety of Bren Esports squad just didn't really had their coffee.
Got
probably
it.
why they lost game number 1.
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense.
They kind of slept around 3 a.m., which is not that healthy, and they're quite sleepy.
They're doing the Toda.
They're doing the Toda thing where is that about just giving out excuses and reasons?
No. It's like, oh yeah, we didn't have enough sleep. But anyways, this, like, if what you're saying is true, then I think not just the Philippine fans, not just the Indonesian fans, but Burmese Ghoul as well, they are watching this game. And if what you're saying is true, that Bren, with more games, they get better, it's gonna be very, very scary in a best of 7. But either way, that was our 3rd game. We're going straight to the 4th game with our casters. So casters, please take it away.